Morning. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for a massive cryptocurrency rally in the midst of a actual insane disaster, but something we didn't think was going to happen. And shout out to Chris Ish. Chrissy got this right. He says, "Shut up, Janet Yellen. You don't know what you're talking about." The Federal Reserve steps in and says, "You know what? We have to bail out these banks," which is good news for a lot of people who especially held USDC. And it's good news for everyone who kept their money in these banks, even the people that had more than $250,000, right? Because that was the issue, that a lot of the smaller guys were going to get fully reimbursed because there's insurances. But what about people who have an excess of $250,000 in these banks? Absolutely insane. And look at these big green bubbles. It's insane. What a weird predicament we're in. We'll get into exactly what the hell's going on here in a second, but what a weird predicament the government is in right now. Because it's like, we need to get a hold on inflation, but where are we going to come up with the money to bail out these banks? Absolutely insane. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button, push us up in the old algorithm. And guys, the giveaway link for this week's giveaway, remember, we're doing a bigger giveaway this week, even bigger. It's gonna be like $140 because I'm going to be testing out one of my sponsors. I already used it. Pretty much a free an anonymous exchange. We're going to be doing that at 9 a.m. So if you're part of the Degenerates, if you have an eggplant next to your name, no matter how you got it, if you were gifted a sub, but all the loyal DGens, make sure to follow the giveaway link in the description of this video. Of course, you have to have a Twitter account in order to retweet that tweet. Again, we'll pick a winner at 9 a.m. Free money, as long as you're part of the channel. Smash that like button, baby. Let's freaking send it this morning. What an absolute interesting and crazy predicament. Insane. Of course, check out my sponsors, Volt Inu, Pomeranian. Link to everything is in the description down below. But first, I got to say what's up to the chat. And guys, obviously what this is they're bailing out their rich friends and donors. This is exactly what this is, right? They're bailing out their rich friends and donors, right? Insane. Javi, good morning. What's up, baby? How you doing? No coffee right now. Already had a nice cup. Be slamming some water. Got a long day of training. What's up, Mizzy Matt? Good morning. Jay Hawk, good morning. Good morning. We have Chaka. Good morning, Chaka. How you doing, baby? Maximus, Andrew, Tim, Bree. How you doing, baby? Sackle Hunt. And if you guys are not part of the Telegram, come join the Telegram. It's a good, fun time. What's up, Selmo Fudd? Says, I ape into plays like I'm Donkey Kong. I eat the dip like I'm Pac-Man. And because of that, I'm like Mario. I got coins out the ass. When any crypto game win. Let's go, Selmo Fudd. We have Static. What's up, Static? We have Beaver Lumber. No ordinary lumber. We have Gabe. What's up, Gabe? What's up, Frank? How you doing? How you doing? James. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Let's see. We got Jason. What's up, Jason? How you doing? What's up, Brad? What's up, baby? Hardest working man in the world. Crypto Zero. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? What's up? What's up, Cody? Good morning. We got Callum C. Good morning. Morning. What's up, fam? We got Ryan Patty. What's up, Ryan Patty? How you doing, baby? Good morning, Ryan. Good morning. Morning. What's up, Steve the Canadian? Happiest guy and nicest man on the planet. Just happens to be Canadian. Is that a coincidence, or it's Canadians are just happy? What's up, Mint? How you doing? Pikachu gang in the house. Ben, trying to take off my socks right now. We have Chaco, new member. Bobby Lorette, good morning. Good morning. What's up, High Five, myself, no friends, says good morning from the Arctic in Wisconsin. We got Wisconsin in the house. I had a science teacher growing up. Her name was Miss Stein. First of all, fine. Second of all, she used to bring us cheese curds every time she go back home to Wisconsin. What a nice lady. What's up, Wilson? How you doing? MMAI gang in the house. Guys, smash that like button. Push us up in the old algorithm. Let's pack the house and talk about exactly what's going on. But first, we got to welcome Choco to the Degenerates. Choco, that eggplant looks oh so nice next to your name. Welcome to the Degenerates. So 0.01 ETH giveaway today. ETH is pumping, baby. So congrats to you. Now, we can all take a big, deep sigh, right? Because USDC has repegged. I'm torn because here's the thing. I don't like the Federal Reserve stepping in and bailing out all their friends. But to all the crypto people who had USDC, friends I've known, hundreds of thousands of dollars in USDC, you can take a big, deep breaths or sigh of relief, right? You're going to be fine. Looks like everything is going to be okay because Big Daddy government stepped in and said, you know what? We're going to bail everybody out. Now, here's the thing. The crazy thing was Janet Yellen really dumped the markets more yesterday. Why? And Chris E, shout out to Chris E, said it right. Dude, what the hell does she know? Right? So check this out. This was a big piece of news. Janet Yellen said, no bailout for Silicon Valley Bank. Focus is on helping depositors. But it turns out that's wrong, right? That's absolutely wrong. They stepped in and started bailing everyone out. Now, this is going to be a good thing, right? Like I said before, because it's going to help a lot of the cryptocurrency. It's going to help a lot of the stable coins that were depegging. Now, it's interesting, this pump, because we have a lot still going on the next week. But now, if you're the Federal Reserve, is your focus on stopping some sort of insane recession like we had in 2008? Because if we don't bail out these banks, we were starting to see more and more exposure. Signature Bank was one of them, right? We're starting to see more and more exposure, and more companies coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, we have money in that bank, especially the tech startups for Silicon Valley banks. And a lot of those companies were going to get absolutely wiped out. And now they can, breathe a sigh of relief because of that. What do you guys think? How do you feel about the situation? It's interesting because I know the main reason why they're bailing out these big banks is because it's their friends and their donors, right? It only makes sense to me. But at the same time, it's like, dude, how are we going to get all this money? Like we have to print more money. So what is that going to do? It's going to kick the can down the road, right? The inflation can that we cannot get a hold on. So that's why yesterday when Janet Yellen was saying that we're not going to, bail anybody out, I was like, well, maybe that's a good idea, even though a lot of people are going to get wrecked. But now we're starting to see it, send. It's insane. And like the markets are responding like markets should when they are told the money printers might get put back on. And look we're at a $24,000 Bitcoin. Holy shit. If you were shorting the market, you got absolutely riggedy wrecked. Look at this. Hanging around 22K for the longest time. Proper FUD, dumping down to like 19.5 and then see ya up to $24,000. Oh my goodness. So if you bought the dip, congratulations. Again, it seems like things are making sense. Everything, it's insane. And let's welcome Ryan Patrick back to the Degenerates. Ryan, that eggplant is oh so nice next to your name. Welcome to the pit, baby. Everybody welcome Ryan again. One of us, baby. One of us. Yeah, it's crazy, but a lot of people don't care because it's like an instant gratification kind of thing. It's like, yeah, whatever. Let's take the pump now. Who cares about inflation? Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Man, imagine if you're Jerome Powell right now. You have a tall task in trying to get this damn economy back. I mean, trying to get making the dollar strong again, right? And can you keep raising interest rates? Because maybe that's the reason why some of these banks failed. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's kind of crazy. I mean, of course, just like some of these cryptocurrency protocols and crypto exchanges that go down, I mean, these banks are probably doing crazy stuff to get insane returns on their investments too. So, it's kind of crazy. The whole situation is really nutty. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of comes of this. But like I said, the byproduct was USDC was repegging back to I just saw at $1, and this is a good thing. Now, in the midst of all this, and then we're going to get into a clear value tax video here soon because I think it explains the situation perfectly. In the midst of all this, CZ has taken the opportunity to kind of take a jab at some banks, which I think is very, very interesting. Because the spotlight has been on CZ, and I feel like this has been a coordinated attack to take down Binance, CZ, and because the government doesn't like CZ. I'm telling you, the U.S. government doesn't like CZ. They don't. But we're starting to see such an ironic situation where, like we talked about this, where BUSD was flooded out the ass, right? Oh, they don't have their really reserve. There's no reserves, proof of reserves. They're lying about their balance sheet, yada, yada, yada. Paxos this, Paxos that. BUSD, Binance is CZ shady. Literally never depegged from the dollar one time. In fact, it was worth $1.01 yesterday, BUSD. A little bit of FUD with one of the biggest banks. It would have been the second biggest bank collapse in United States history, which it is. USDC dumps to 87 cents. You know what I mean? One little piece of FUD, and it literally pulls the entire. It almost destroys the stablecoin, right? Chris E. Good analysis on Janet Yellen. What's she talking about? You know what I mean? Bet she feels kind of dumb, But it's crazy. You know, I feel like they have to do this right now, or if they don't do this, it's going to be really awkward for, you know, obviously it's going to cause a huge domino effect, right? Absolutely destroy everything. You know, and it's crazy. You know, there's like we saw like maybe like the top 5 people, like the top 5 companies that had all the money in Silicon Valley Bank. But I mean, you got to think about that plus the other banks that are going to go out, and plus all the other startups and other companies that had so much money in Silicon Valley Bank. I mean, if you look at Watcher Guru, what's interesting to me, first of all, you guys didn't know this, a lot of bank stock trading halted over volatility. So, you know, if you're shorting banks and stuff like that, probably not a good idea now. But what I've noticed about a lot of this is a lot of different people have had lots of money in these banks, right? And we saw one, which was Coinbase. So Signature, right, went down too, Signature Bank. So Coinbase had $240 million and now collapsed Signature Bank. You know, and now that they're getting the bailout, that's fine, right? But, you know, when we're, first of all, Jim Cramer on another one. Jim Cramer said in 2022, you can make a lot of money with Signature Bank. So poor Jim Cramer. But you know, a lot of people had you know, exposure to some of these banks, and now they're getting bailed out. Man, that's actually makes me feel a lot better about some of these companies not going down. But man, so what? Watching Jerome Powell speak is going to be very, very interesting because now you have a shit sandwich, right? Now we were just dealing inflation. Now we have to deal with this. Absolutely insane. After the Clear Value Tax video, we'll go ahead and get into the kind of like what CZ has been doing, what he's been talking about this whole time, because he's taken this opportunity to kind of like see, I told you so. You know, you guys are coming after me, but you guys can't even handle your own shit. You know, if you guys didn't know, you know, Binance and FTX at one point when Terra Luna collapsed, they were spending lots of money trying to save pretty jacked up cryptocurrency projects. They were doing that. They actually started a huge fund and they had like $1 billion in it so far to try to help these failing projects. So they're kind of like equivalent to, you know, they're like the Federal Reserve of crypto. So they were doing the same thing. So it's kind of weird to me for CZ to be going after the government for trying to bail out banks, but that's what they wanted to do. And that's what they did during the collapse of Terra Luna and stuff like that. We know that Sam Bankman-Fried was just saying, we have, you know, here's billions of dollars to help your, you know, CZ was doing something similar. Like they were acting like the saviors of crypto, right? So let's get into this video because it kind of explains the situation perfectly. And Clear Value Tax hitting us with the title's called Bank Bailouts 2.0 begins. Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, and USDC bailed out. And guys, if you want to participate in the giveaway, links to the giveaway is in the description down below. I'm going to be using the safe and secure anonymous crypto exchange service that's sponsoring me this month to send you your crypto. So make sure to get in on that. It's going to be 0.01 ETH, which is a big, big giveaway. But of course, you have to be present in the chat. I'm going to send you a secret word on Twitter. If you don't give me the secret word on Twitter, well then, or you don't put it in the YouTube chat, then I'm not going to pick you. I'm going to move on to the next person in the giveaway or the picker. All right. Let's watch this video and see exactly what the hell is going on.
Today is Sunday, and the U.S. government just announced that they will be bailing out Silicon Valley Bank, SVB. So we're not talking about the stockholders. We're talking about the private equity company, the private equity firms, and the tech companies that house their money within Silicon Valley Bank. The Federal Reserve will be creating a new lending facility. This is going to be applicable to other banks, such as Signature Bank of New York. All depositors will have access to their money on Monday.
So today, right? So everyone who had money in there, I mean, they're going to be yeeting money all out of all kinds of banks today, right? Obviously, if you're a stockholder, you're stuck like Chuck. Who cares, right?
So essentially, the next round of bailouts, they have begun. And this is going to cost the taxpayers, I mean, this is going to cost us billions of dollars, if not more. Okay, so I want to tell you this. Check this out. The federal government and the Federal Reserve, they're both saying that taxpayers will not bear any costs for any losses associated with the unwinding of these banks.
Do you guys believe that? We're not going to pay for anything? Where's the money coming from?
Okay, so my question is that who is going to be responsible? Who's going to bear the losses? I don't want to be naive. And I'm just going to say it. It's going to be the taxpayers. It's going to be everyday Americans that will be footing the bill. Okay, ultimately, here's the situation. about 85% of the money in Silicon Valley Bank was uninsured. Okay. So that means that if you had under $250,000 in that bank, okay, it went under. If you had under 250K in there, then you would get that money back. Your money would be protected. Anything over that, and poof, it's gone. So let me tell you why this is all important. SVB, so Silicon Valley Bank, they specialized in banking for tech startups. Half of the tech companies in the US that are backed by venture capital and private equity firms, they banked with SVB.
That's crazy.
So this, you could think of this as the go-to bank for venture capital, private equity, and tech startups. So these tech companies and private equity firms, they started complaining to the politicians and to the Federal Reserve that we're going to lose so much money. And the Federal Reserve and the politicians, they have decided to bail them out. Like, oh no, you're going to lose millions of dollars. We can't let that happen. So the Treasury Department said, today we are taking decisive actions to protect the US economy by strengthening public confidence in our banking system. So to that, I would say, no, they're not. So what they're doing, what they're really doing is that they're bailing out their friends and their donors. So the Treasury proceeded to say, this step will ensure that the US banking system continues to perform its vital roles of protecting deposits and providing access to credit to households and businesses in a manner that promotes strong and sustainable economic growth. I think what they meant to say was that this step will ensure that their friends and donors will be made whole at the expense of everyday Americans. So listen, Silicon Valley Bank, it was just a poorly managed bank that could not get their controls right.
So this is the rub right here. It's like a lot of the cryptocurrency exchanges, obviously banks are obviously way more important, right, than cryptocurrency exchanges right now in the grand scheme of things. But one of the reasons why, it's hard to feel bad for some of these cryptocurrency companies, like we watched the Alex Mashinsky thing yesterday, the Celsius thing. It's like, it's hard to feel bad about that collapsing because we know they were just doing shady shit or just like being reckless. But some of these banks were doing similar things. Obviously not as crazy, but doing similar things, right? Let's continue.
So they screwed up. Yes, they had a bank run, but that was their own fault. They dumped their excess cash into long-dated bonds and treasuries because they wanted to make a little bit more in interest income. And that backfired. That clearly backfired. And as a bank and any financial professional understands that you need controls in place because there's liquidity risk. And imagine on Thursday, imagine opening up your checking account, your bank accounts, and seeing that your balance was a negative $1 billion, because that's what happened to them on Thursday. Friday, it was just game over. So anyways, they had to sell those holdings for massive losses. So ultimately, they made a bad decision. So somebody's going to pay for those losses, but the government says that nobody will. So this whole magic money thing, to me, this has gone too far. And clearly, we are paying for it with inflation. So listen, I'm just going to say that I'm not surprised. These bailouts, you're going to see them continue for the rich and wealthy. So obviously, this is all going to make the inflation situation worse. It's also going to reward bad decision-making, and it's going to reward more wealth inequality. And we're going to be told and sold some very lame excuses. So anyways, what does this all mean? This means,
First of all, I have to give a big shout out to Ryan and Crazy Mandy for both gifting 5 subs or 5 memberships each. Thank you so much, Ryan, for gifting 5 memberships. Crazy Mandy, thank you so much. Guys, we have 200 people in here. Smash that like button and let's congratulate Beyond the Barbell, Jordan Earl, Sophia, Mishka, Dave Cloudier. Everybody make sure you thank Patrick because now you're automatically entered to win $140 today-ish. Right? If you follow me on Twitter and if you follow the links in the description down below for the giveaway and follow the directions, all you got to do is retweet it and be a member. Thank you so much, Ryan. And Crazy Mandy gifted KDI, Kaspas, Kiss, Kuify, Crypto Zero. You guys, if you received a free membership, make sure you thank either Crazy Mandy or Ryan. Guys, thank you so much. One of us. Welcome to the Degenerates. Guys, smash that like button. We are 30 likes away from 100 likes. Let's go, baby. But look check this out. I love you too, Silly Willy. But check this out. It's a tough situation it's like, because if you don't bail out these banks, it's gonna get crazy. But maybe that's the craziness we're looking for. Like, a lot of us are sitting here on the sidelines ready to buy these dips. And let me tell you something. If you're like a regular ass person and you were shorting the market, like, maybe you thought this short was a layup. Nope, because I bet you so many people got riggedy wrecked because they were shorting the market because they thought this week would be bad for crypto. Woo, rough. Let's continue.
Means that this whole banking contagion, it's now all over. You can no longer have contagion when 100% of deposits are covered. So, okay, you have to take this into consideration. After this, you're going to see some weird things happen. When the government ensures that you cannot have a bank run, you know what's going to happen? The banks are going to start going nuts. So this is, just think about it. This is ultimately just encouraging the banks to act more recklessly. Not for the bigger banks because they have, that's a different story. So there's limitations on this, what's going on right now. But the smaller banks, the regional banks, yes. But more importantly, at the end of the day, all the private equity firms and their tech companies, they're going to be okay. And isn't that what's most important to all of us, right? So moving on to crypto, this means that USDC just dodged a bullet.
Big bullet, right? And we're seeing USDC finally hit that $1 peg. It's been bouncing around 998, 999. But man, big, like, wow, dodged a bullet there because, that's where because on paper, guys, Circle, it seemed like the safest one, but it's a little bit of fun, a little bit of exposure, right? $3.5 billion. DPEG, 87 cents. Nuts, right? And I'm just like, whoa, no way. And I'm out at night when I think this happened, Saturday night, Friday night, one of those nights? Absolutely insane, right? All that FUD for BUSD. And Circle's the one taking a dump, right? It looks like it's going to repeg here in a second, but dodged a big bullet.
So stablecoin USDC, it had $3.3 billion SVB. That was the last known amounts. So you saw the depegging for yourself, USDC. So I personally saw it at 115. So 115 for USDC to buy 1 USDT. It may have been more, but okay. So I'm just happy that I didn't swap out any USDC for USDT.
Wait, first of all, there's a guy who came into our chat 2-3 days ago. Guys, he had 120K, I think, in USDC. He traded, he sold it all, and he lost, I think, 20K. So let's have a moment of silence for our man who popped into the chat freaking out. I don't think he ever subscribed, but he popped into our chat. Absolutely insane, right? I feel so bad for that guy because it repegged. Now, obviously, no one could tell the future. No one knew this bailout was coming, but damn, right? Got to pour one out for him, man. That sucks. He did buy the Bitcoin dip, though, so I think Bitcoin was at 19K. So, I mean, what? He spent 100K on... Wait. He spent 100K on Bitcoin. So that's five. That was like roughly 5-ish Bitcoin at the time. So he actually made money, right? 6 times 5. Yeah, he made 10K. Oh, actually, no moment of silence for a man because he swapped all his USDC to wrapped Bitcoin. Obviously, wrapped Bitcoin is Bitcoin and Ethereum network. So, no, he actually made money. Well, shit. He should probably swap some back now because we're probably going to get a dump this week. Who knows? But actually, yeah, never mind. Crazy.
I made that publicly known on my Patreon. So basically, ultimately, all of this for USDC, it was a false alarm. Everything's going to be okay. So the government ultimately just bailed out USDC.
Thanks.
So I know that there were a lot of companies on the NASDAQ that were freaking out. And it looks like they're going to be okay, at least for now. So I think that there's still going to be more trouble in store for them this year. But ultimately, I don't believe in this soft landing nonsense. Just take a look around. This doesn't feel like a soft landing to me. So this shows to me that all companies, most companies, especially the smaller ones, the growth companies and tech companies, they are on thin ice. So the futures are up. They're looking good for markets on Monday. However, I'm telling you that all of this is happening with Silicon Valley Bank, SVB. This is all just noise because the big show, the big event, it's going to happen on Tuesday. So Tuesday, that's the February CPI inflation report, and that's going to be what moves the markets. Because, okay, Tuesday's so important. The CPI inflation report, the February one, that's going to be released on Tuesday. That's going to be so important because that's going to give us insight into what the Federal Reserve is going to do on March 22nd. That's the FOMC Federal Reserve meeting. So that's going to be the interest rate hike. That's also going to be terminal interest rates when they give insight into peak interest rates, what the Fed is thinking. So that's what it's still Sunday. That's what happened this weekend. This is what's in store for us this week, as well as the subsequent week. Please check out our Patreon. We have exclusive content on there about stocks and for cryptos. I'm going to leave a link for you down below. Thank you for all the support. Please subscribe, and I wish you a very nice day. Please take care.
Now, the interesting, and first of all, I'm part of his Patreon. If you're not part of his Patreon, it's pretty good, especially if you're into traditional stocks and those sorts of things. Weird times, because tomorrow is a big day. So a lot of people, you know how it is in crypto, you know how it is in anything. You see these massive green candles, you see crypto start to send. Everyone is getting FOMO and they're aping in now. Not for any logical reason, but hey, maybe these bailouts mean that, we're printing more money. We're turning the money printers back on. What happens? It's going to be very interesting to see what data comes out tomorrow. Guys, if inflation data comes out bad tomorrow, I mean, how much of this is wiped away? Is 4K wiped out of Bitcoin? You know what I mean? That's nuts. That's nuts to me. So we'll see, but man, it's crazy to see how these how things react. And what's crazy about all this is that we started to see crypto send last night, and that's the beauty of cryptocurrency. It's 24/7, right? Sending last night. So honestly, it's sometimes it's good, like a good kind of gives you like a good idea of what's going to happen in the traditional markets. But Bitcoin sending, crypto is responding well. I mean, if you bought these dips, I mean, you're feeling pretty good. Like that guy, I felt sorry for him for a second, but I remember that he did swap to rat Bitcoin. And if he bought 5 Bitcoin at 20K roughly, he made whatever, 5 times 4 is 20K. So he's probably broke right about even or made a little more from when he sold his USDC. So it's kind of a bittersweet for me because I'm glad to see this repegging because I don't want to see anybody get wrecked in any sort of stable coin. But at the same time, I do know that printing more money is not the way, and encouraging, I guess you could say, bad behavior with some of these banks is not the way. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. What do you guys think about all this? Let me read some comments, and then we'll move over to the Binance situation. Again, thank you so much, Crazy Mandy, and then Ryan for gifting 5 or 10 memberships altogether. That's 12 new people this stream. And we are at 74 likes. Guys, smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes so we can do a $140 giveaway, roughly. Let me see. Exactly, DoobieTube. Exactly. This is just a Band-Aid? 100%. BlackRock, yeah. So BlackRock backs USDC and Coinbase, yeah. But obviously BlackRock isn't, not doing a lot either. I mean, they don't make all the best decisions either. I mean, they backed FTX too. So, DoobieTube says there's no way the Fed stopped fighting inflation after they sat on their hands for like 6 months before getting started. No way, right? I can't imagine them being like, oh, all right, well, we're gonna go easy on inflation. It doesn't seem like that. And it's not the Federal Reserve's job to be like, hey guys, this price action doesn't make any sense. The markets respond to this because they think, rightfully so. Should be pumping this high? No, it shouldn't be 24K, but a little bit of positive price action is good because a lot of companies are saved and people are saved because the government stepped in. Just think about all the I think about all the businesses and stuff that just went down over the years, especially because of the whole pandemic, but they don't get a bailout. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Steve. Yeah, smash that like button. Yeah, Patty, come back, man. Patty, come make some content. Thank you, Edgar. Hey, poke it, smash it, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's go. Push us up in the old algorithm. But Big Daddy government stepping in, right? Stepping in. And there's all kind of articles questioning, like, is it good? Should we do this? You know what I mean? Should we not do this? You know what I mean? Let's see if we have some like let's see, bank bailouts. I want to see like what Fox News has to say about it. You know what I mean? Or like some of these crazy let me see, CNBC. Because some people are really CNBC. Some people are really about it. Some people are really not. We have no like current content on like bank bailout. Come on, mainstream media. What are we doing? What are we doing? I want to see what some of these people have to say. We'll see what Joe Biden had to say.
Let's get to Kayla Tausche. More news, I imagine, out of Washington.
Come on, Joe.
Hey, Carl. Well, the president was asked whether this effectively means that all depositors in the United States have a backstop. He did not answer that question, but in those remarks earlier this hour, he sought to really drive home that message that is so important to the administration, that taxpayers will bear no cost of this rescue. Here's the president earlier this hour.
All customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured, rest assured they'll be protected and they'll have access to their money as of today. That includes small businesses across the country that bank there and need to make payroll, pay their bills, and stay open for business. No losses will, and this is an important point, no losses will be borne by the taxpayers.
He also said that the administration would be looking at changes to regulation to make sure that this doesn't happen again, but it remains to be seen exactly how that could be done, whether banks would be required to hold more of their capital in cash rather than reinvesting it in treasuries because of what happened here, and whether the administration would be willing to relax that rule that prevents any bank that has more than 10% of the nation's deposits from acquiring deposits through any other deal. There are 3 banks that qualify under that umbrella. JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo would be precluded under current rules from doing any sort of deal that would allow them to acquire more deposits. But David, as you guys rightly mentioned earlier, they have grown organically in the order of billions because of the money that has been flowing out of the very community and regional banks that the administration has been seeking to promote with those regulations. And certainly that is an unintended consequence that you can imagine the administration is going to try to rectify.
You know, it's kind of tough if you're if the people are telling you like the banks to sit on a bunch of cash when inflation's out of control, right? That's kind of nuts. And shout out to Brad for gifting 1 new membership to Jordan Davis. Jordan, welcome to the Degenerates. That eggplant looks oh so nice next to your name. And thank you so much for the 10th millionth gifted membership. I do appreciate you, Brad. That's tough to ask banks to make sure they sit on a bunch of cash when we have literally inflation going out of, just spiraling out of control. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. This whole month is crazy. It's a crazy month. I didn't see this happening though, right? A lot of people said, yeah, banks are going to fail, interest rates, yada, 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 those sorts of things, because, the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates. But I mean, man, like, was this on anybody's radar, And I expected I expected today to be a huge, bad day. Just for markets in general, because I didn't think people were going to get bailed out. I thought we're going to see more banks go down, which we started to see. But then, the government stepped in. Let's check out what Jim Cramer has to say. Our favorite.
Jim, this was Dan Loeb last night. He said, "I'd say all's well that ends well, but I think this story is just beginning." Is it just beginning, or did it end?
Well, I think that there's something in between that. We have a number of banks that are going to have to take advantage of what the Federal Reserve did last night, which is to be able to make it so that they can take their held-to-maturity bonds, put them at par. This is unfortunately, I know, a little abstruse, and then be able to get loans. The question is, will they need capital raises? And if they need capital raises, then you've got to be very careful buying any of the regionals. I think what I don't want to be constrained by what Loeb said. I think the issue is that we all know, and David knows this, he was saying that there are some banks that are on the wrong part of what the Fed wants, which is that they don't have sticky deposits, and they are going to have a big problem keeping their deposits. And then there are other banks, chiefly the ones that are great banks. We're talking about JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and we're also talking about Bank of America, that aren't in trouble and actually would be the beneficiary of this. So I think it's over for some, but not for others. But today would be a day where people will say we have the bonds going crazy, interest rates going lower. That's actually good for these banks, but it's viewed as a flight to quality. So I don't know. Why do we have to say all's well? I mean, look, it's, I just find that Shakespeare is not as applicable as typical. How about that?
Okay,
Wait, what?
Jim, we will see you in
what
just
did
a
you
couple.
say?
How about that?
What?
Not as applicable as typical. How about that? That's actually good for these banks, but it's viewed as a flight to quality. So I don't know. Why do we have to say all's well? I mean, look, it's, I just find that Shakespeare is not as applicable as typical. How about that?
Okay, Jim, we will see you in just a couple of minutes.
Gee, what a wild, wacky, funny, like interesting situation. Jesus. What a crazy situation. What's going on here? Good news is bad news. Bad news is good news. You know what I mean? Lord have mercy. Guys, smash that like button. We are 10 likes away from 100 likes. Let's see what let's see. Social media was the home for this contagion. Let me see. Reddit co-founder, SPV fallout. All right, let's actually listen to this one. This is pretty good. What does this mean for regional banks?
As we track the latest developments surrounding the closure of SVB, want to bring in.
First of all, I want to point out something really sad to me because during the like kind of the I would say after the collapse of Terra Luna and before the collapse of FTX, CNBC was. I mean, we watch them quite often for their cryptocurrency content. That's some really good content. Not say it's like the best. Probably not the best place to go for all cryptocurrency news, but they were doing a good job, man. And since then, they just haven't been doing that great. I mean, I remember that one-on-one interview they had with SBF, and he was talking about his Toyota Corolla and shit. Ooh. All right, let's listen to this guy. See what they have to say.
A journalist who's been following this story super closely. Liz Hoffman is here, Semaphore Business and Finance editor. Over the weekend, she reported on a number of hedge funds offering to buy startups' deposits that were stranded. That was, of course, before the government stepped in. But we're all trying to figure out, has what the Fed has done stopped things?
I think they haven't so much stopped the run as they've said they're going to fund it. Right. You'll note they didn't say every deposit in the country is now insured. I think mostly
but
for
they kind of
legal,
implicitly.
A little bit, but I think there's some gray areas where they can actually do that at the FDIC. And they said, we're not going to stop this, but we are going to fund it. So they open the spigot and via the banks are going to put just a fire hose of money into deposit.
The big question is all the folks at JP Morgan and Bank of America and Wells Fargo whose phone was ringing off the hook over the weekend because people wanted to open up accounts, whether those calls stop or do they continue? And if they continue, we got a different problem.
Agreed. I don't know. I mean, First Republic stock is down 60-70% pre-market. That's a different, than
even
the deposits.
With the promise for the
even with the and they raised money last night separately from the new Fed facility. So,
but is that the high sign? Is that the high sign that I'm hoping we don't have a problem? But do you look at that and say, okay, there's a problem here? Or do you think that's idiosyncratic to that bank?
I don't think it's idiosyncratic. My sense is all these regionals are still here on Friday, but they're half as big as they were last week. And by the way, they're going to replace this incredibly cheap deposit funding with prevailing Fed funds rate in the new facility, which means their margins just collapsed.
Right.
So none of these stocks are going to trade at remotely what they've traded at for the last couple of years.
Well, right. They're not going to trade because the business model is not the same. But are the deposits going to stick? I guess that's the.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the problem, it's not really an issue, right? Because if they can take their assets and take them to the Fed and give that money to the depositors, it'll come down, but they'll just be a lot smaller than they were a week ago.
Are you in the camp of this becomes disinflationary insofar as if all these small banks, either lose deposits, get treated like systemically important institutions, or have to raise?
Real quick, look at this. I saw it earlier. So HBC Holdings agrees to acquire Silicon Valley Bank UK for one damn discount, baby. Yay! Turn on the money printer, Jerome. Fuck it. Who cares? Who cares about inflation? Who cares? Just turn on the money printer. Let's pump Bitcoin, right? Now, guys, we're going to finish this, but situations like these, Bitcoin was born out of the 2008 financial crisis. That's when Bitcoin was born, right? That's where it was born. This is why it was created. You know what I mean? Insane. Bitcoin's the answer, baby.
raise capital requirements and all sorts of other things.
Bitcoin's the answer, baby.
Means that the loans that they're going to be providing folks
It might be,
are going
Ben.
to cost a lot more, meaning there's going to be a lot less.
The answer is yeah, but the other way to look at it is that these loans were massively below market for a long time. And look, I've heard like slightly conflicting things, right? I was talking to a banker at a GSIB over the weekend. He was kind of complaining, saying that, well, our competitive advantage is that we get excess deposits because people think that we will be here tomorrow,
right,
and that we're going to lose that to the small banks. The other side is, why would you have your money at one of these tiny banks when there's even like a remote risk of this happening again? So I don't know. I think it'll be a very messy couple of weeks in the short-term funding markets.
What do you make of the venture capital community over the weekend, loud and proud on Twitter, begging for a bailout?
Yeah.
Of course.
This is a community you've written a lot about over the years, and I'm thinking of the David Saxes of the world and everybody else who was Jason Calcanis screaming, "We need a bailout, we need a bailout," at the same time that the venture capital community has historically been relatively libertarian, called for less regulation for the most part. By the way, SVB called for less regulation. In fact, less regulation that probably allowed this to happen to begin with. Special tax treatment in the form of carried interest. Does that change, do you think, in the public mind's eye?
I mean,
the way people look at venture capital?
I mean, there's no ideologues in foxholes, right? I mean, that stuff goes out the window quickly.
And I'm not saying we shouldn't have bailed them out. I'm just suggesting that there might be some other ramifications.
I totally agree. I think this will not make anyone in Silicon Valley more popular with the rest of the country.
Yeah.
I think a little differently about the moral hazard argument. The depositors at Silicon Valley Bank were not mom and pop, but the checking and savings account product, people who open those can't realistically, I don't think, be expected to stay on top of bank balance sheet risks. Like, that's not their job. And if you're going to push that to depositors, then what are banks here for, right? So I think this is a little bit of a different argument than 2008, but like politically, I would expect there to be a lot of...
Damn, this is going to be crazy. This is pretty funny. Check out this meme by Bitcoin Magazine. Quote, Joe Biden, Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe. The banking system, literally just burning money, right? Just... Oh, Lord. What does the chat say? Chat, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? Should we have bailed out these big banks? Or should we let them suffer, right? Should we let them suffer? Big money's like, fuck the banks buying in Bitcoin. Hey, that may be the move, M, you know? I mean, this is why as time goes on, it's like, maybe I should just get more Bitcoin, you know? Let me see. Let me see. Give me a second. Javi says 2008 Coronas are Bitcoin, Coronas are Ethereum. Oh, I know, bro. I know. Makes you, hindsight's always 2020, but we'll see. Maybe what else is when Bitcoin? No way it's going to 5K. If Bitcoin goes to 5K, that'd be nuts. We'd have to have some insane news for Bitcoin to go to 5K. Like, what kind of news do you guys think we would need for Bitcoin to go to 5K? Nuts. Turn on the money machine, baby. Let's go. Blaze says, what the heck is going on? I love this chat. It's crazy. Blazer, welcome. This is how chat is every single morning. Anthony says, Rodney. Actually, today's been a pretty tame for FUD. Bleeze actually called me out saying, what did Bleeze say? Bleeze says, I took your advice and sold everything. What's next? Should I buy the top? I've always wanted to be someone's exit liquidity. Help me, Obi Rod Kenobi. So Bleeze is roasting me for my thumbnails. First of all, it's clickbait. Second of all, Bleeze, I know you ain't talking when we're all over here still waiting for that Lily Finance Coinbase listing, buddy. I know you ain't talking, Bleeze. Always right my ass. But yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, yeah, today is actually, a pretty FUD-less, you could say, day when it comes to Jesus, Bitcoin's almost up 20%. This is like bull run numbers. What is going on in their world? I can't figure it out. Like, I'm going crazy. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Crazy. All right, Chris, we got to turn the money printers back on, right? What do you think? I think we got to turn the money printers back on. It could happen. It's possible. Guys, it's still not over yet. They can still get listed. Everybody converting USDC to Bitcoin? Shit, I would. Am I in stables? I do have money in stables, but my exposure is pretty low. So Lilarium says, yeah, bail them out because those banks add a lot of crypto and tech related investments. Yeah, so Silicon Valley Bank was pretty much a lot of think of what it is, Silicon Valley Bank. You know what I mean? Silicon, right? Silicon Valley. So, there's a lot of tech startups in there, and a lot of people's a lot of lives were saved today, because you got to think about all these startups. Like, first of all, most startups fail anyways. Like, tech has to be crazy. It's probably super saturated. But like a lot of maybe future businesses that we're going to hear about maybe 10 years, and like, oh, we were one of the tech startups that, we're going to fail, but the government, but you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So who knows? But a lot of companies and lives were saved because the government stepped in, right? And said, we're going to bail out these, and that's what I think about the little guy. Chrissy says, I don't see money printing on. It will just shoot the economy to Zimbabwe levels. That'd be crazy. Escobar says Bitcoin at 28,000. Where's it at right now? I think it's absolutely schmoving. 24,000 still. Ah, yes, Green Days. If you would have told me yesterday that, well, the bank bailout, the bailout situation is interesting, right? I was reading a little article from Janet Yellen, or not an article, but let's see, Bitcoin Magazine's been on that ass. Let's see. Bitcoin Magazine. If you guys don't follow Bitcoin Magazine, you got to follow. And guys, we're doing our giveaway at 9 a.m. So if you are part of the degenerates, if you have an eggplant next to your name and haven't won one of the last 10 times, you will be entered to win a big giveaway today. I'm going to be using one of my sponsors, POM. It's called Raul, which is a completely anonymous, really anonymous cryptocurrency exchange. So it'll be fun. Oh, here it is. 2017. There will never be another financial crisis in our lifetime. Janet Yellen today. Crickets. Janet, where you at? Janet. Lying ass. Dude, literally, I bet you so many shorts were put in place because people thought that really, we weren't going to get any bailouts. Because, Janet said it's not going to happen. We have an article right here. Janet Yellen, no bailout for Silicon Valley Bank. Focused on helping depositors. I'd be pissed if I was trading. I'd be pissed. What does the chat got to say? What's up, Jayhawk? I don't know. We'll see. It depends. So what was the last CPI data? Was it 6.4? What was the last CPI data? Anybody remember? 6.4, 6.3, something like that. It wasn't going down as fast as we thought it was. And in some key metrics, it wasn't going down fast enough either. And it even raised in some. So we'll see. Because the last, if you think from June to where we're at today, we've actually done a good job fighting inflation, but it's starting to slow down, right? The lower the number gets, the stickier it gets. So we'll see. I don't know. Anything moving down is great. Edgar, no. Lilarium says, look, it's simple. If they bail out banks, they probably know they won't have bad CPI because if they raise again, well, this is for February, right? Obviously, the CPI data is for February. Well, I saw that Swinif for, what is it? £1. Yeah, I knew that's CCTV. It's been listed. It's been listed. No, it's been listed. Guys, smash that like button. We are 110 likes. Let's go, baby. Smash the like button. Push us up in the old algorithm. Okay. CZ. Was it Xi Jinping? CZ, the man of the hour. What do we make of this? What I'm looking at here is the fact that BUSD, I know it's not everything, but look, I think he was trying to do good by saying, you know what? Make BUSD be minted by Paxos, an American company. But they still said, shut up, CZ. We're coming after you. We're shutting down your stable coin. If you guys don't know, after the collapse of Terra Luna, a big initiative was kind of put out into the world saying, hey, we want to do have some sort of fund. So if big cryptocurrency entities collapse, we can help them out with money and those sorts of things, right? And so check this out. They had a recovery fund of $1 billion, right? So it says, given the changes in stable coins and banks, Binance will convert the remaining of its $1 billion industry crypto recovery fund initiative from BUSD to native crypto, including Bitcoin, BNB, and ETH. I don't know why he didn't hashtag ETH. That's shady. Some fund movements will occur on-chain transparency. So they're going to move, obviously, all the BUSD, right, which is still fine. Paxos is redeeming every single BUSD, like, to $1. So far, there hasn't been any issues, which is what we like to see in this space, right? Yeah, I mean, BNB, Bitcoin, and ETH. And these are not three bad. Obviously, these are three great, crypto products to invest in. Obviously, Bitcoin is becoming more and more appealing to me as time goes on. So interesting, right? So obviously, this is gonna create another sell-off, right? I don't know how much of the remaining crypto was in BUSD, but obviously the market cap of BUSD is like 7 billion right now. So it's kind of it's really really selling off at a fast pace. Now, Lady of Crypto, if you don't follow her, very entertaining too. Absolute babe says this, and CZ retweeted it. Kind of funny how Binance survived its bank run with ease a few months ago, but a top tier US bank like SVB couldn't survive a bank run, but Binance is the problem. I mean, how much FUD was Binance enduring? A lot. They lost a lot of crypto on a few key days, right? Literally, people were just selling at a fast pace, and they were fine. They're fine. They're still here. Actually, no problems. The whole times, they're actually just talking shit. They started to control more of the market share when it comes to trading. I mean, it's like 60-something% now. They're talking about hiring people and expanding their business, So she continues. Some are reading this as FUD. I need to stop using sarcasm on CT. I thought it was obvious, but from the tone of the tweet, I'm saying Binance is not the problem. Banks are. Binance is seemingly backed 1-to-1, whereas banks operate on fractional reserves, making them vulnerable. So if you guys don't know that, banks are not required to have every single dollar you own in their bank. It wouldn't make any sense, especially your local banks or your smaller banks, right? Because it's just impossible, especially if you're in a busy town. Like the Chase Bank I have two Chase banks in my area, but I imagine if like everyone who had Chase Bank in this area wanted to go withdraw their money, they don't need all the money in one spot, right? But exchanges, if you think about exchanges, right, they are held to a higher standard. And I've even seen people, it's not that they're held to a higher standard, because it's not that, but they need to make sure they hold their customer assets 1-to-1. So it's a bigger deal, right? It's not part of it. It's 1-to-1. Now, still, there are no insurances for cryptocurrency companies failing. If you get wrecked, you're wrecked. Sometimes you're stuck like Chuck. It doesn't matter, right? So there's still not a lot of safeguards at the end of the day. But, if you think about it, cryptocurrency exchanges are required to hold, not required, but highly encouraged to hold customer assets 1-to-1. And this was Vitalik's idea too, was during the collapse of Terra Luna and FTX, what was the best course of action? To do something to prove to the community that you're holding their assets 1-to-1, that if anything happened, like crypto.com did, right? Well, that we can give you all your cryptocurrency, and we can honor your transactions and redeem them. And that was the issue with FTX. FTX, it's like people came to withdraw their money and they didn't have it because they were doing shady shit with it. That's not the role of an exchange. Exchange is not supposed to take your money and gamble it to make more, and this is problem with the banks. But if you're a bank, it's interesting because a lot of people are calling for these banks to like have a bunch of cash on the side. It's like inflation is so bad right now. It's probably not the smartest idea to have a bunch of cash on the side. So they're doing treasuries and those sorts of things. You know what I mean? So it's a tough situation, right? It's a tough situation. It's actually really, really tough. But this was the appropriate response for what was happening with FTX, and people gave CZ shit. So the big issue is that we see the proof of reserves, but we don't know what the hell the liabilities are, right? We don't know what else, if something happened to them and they owed people money, like, okay, well, yeah, here are your proof of reserves, but how many people are going to get back their crypto? So far, we've seen little runs on these cryptocurrency exchanges, and they've been fine, so CZ's taking this time to pretty much say, I told you so, motherfucker, told you so, Banks are a risk to fiat backed stable coins. That's true. Right? That's true. That is true. Man, that's nuts. That's nuts. So Man, are stablecoins safe at all? Do you guys think this is some huge conspiracy? Right? You think they're going after stablecoins so they can make CBDCs more appealing and shove it down our throats? Chris E says, yeah, right. Binance with no real audit and probably will not know the liability of Binance has. Exactly. They are comparing crypto brokerage accounts to banks. Why no compare Celsius, BlockFi, and others? Well, yeah. So those are the bad apples, right? You could say. Although, after watching CoffeeZilla's video, it's like it seems like the whole Celsius thing was a scam. But let me know in the chat. Do we really think Alex Mashinsky is going to get any jail time? Do we really think? I don't know. I mean, there's stories of his wife pulling out millions of dollars days before the collapse, him and those sorts of things. But I think the CPI is going to be better, Ryan, but I don't know how much better. And a little better is probably not going to be good enough for us. But if we move up at all, it's over. It's over. We'll see it. We'll see the market tank. We'll see. But obviously, the reason why the market is pumping is because big government stepped in, right? And they said, we're going to bail everybody out. That's the only reason why it's pumping. You know what I mean? So this is not some, I see Believes in the chat. This is not some Believes technical analysis, This is not I got it right. This is thank the government. Let's see. How can we get a gold-backed stablecoin? That's funny. Anybody own metals in the chat? Like actual metals, not some sort of like, gold, freaking that it's not some sort of stock or fund that trades with gold. That the value of gold, like actual metals. Silver, okay. I know a lot of people are getting into silver. This is crazy though, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be crazy. Silver stacker. I'm just Joshua what you believes. I don't have any precious metals. So nice crypto art. Nice. Got property. Growing base. Ryan says, I recycle aluminum cans. Says I count. Absolutely. Choco, when USDC went down, I had no fear though. There's some, okay, so these are the pros and cons. When you have something like USDC that has these big backers, right? Sometimes when shit hits the fan, big daddy government jumps in to save you, That's why so the reason why I trust USDC the most is because who they have backing them. And it's like, when you got friends, and you're backed by big corporations, you get saved. You get saved. Nice, Big A. Nice. Edgar, absolutely. No, I'm going to stay in it. It's funny. Tether's over here just like, it sucks to suck. Tether's been out of like the news for FUDs. The biggest piece of news we have from Tether was they made a ton of revenue in Q4 of last year because of like their low overhead. What does Tether have, like 10 guys in an office? You know what I mean? How the hell you make $700 million in revenue or profit and Q4 of last year? Oh, what? You know what I mean? Oh, what? And then we have Coinbase over here encouraging people to swap their Tether for USDC, which is hilarious. I wonder if that's still on the website. Guys, in 2 minutes, we're going to pick our winner for this week's giveaway, and we're going to be using Raul. Show you that right now. To send 0.01 in ETH to a lucky winner. Untraceable, secure, private cryptocurrency exchange, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I'm going to give you a step-by-step process on how to do it. We have Awesome in the chat. We have my boy Awesome. Where's Awesome? Where's my boy? Awesome says Circle is doing the right thing. The feds might not do a rate hike. Shit's crazy. I heard about that. Yeah. The amount of money made by this DPEG was nuts. Dude, people actually bought the dip. Believe says Tether sold all of their FTT tokens. Yeah, right with CZ, huh? You know what's crazy? That they announced it and CZ, they still waited, right, to sell any of their FTT tokens? Awesome House Korea, man. Nuts. Nuts. All right, let's go ahead and pick let's go ahead and get the Twitter picker. Give me 1 second. Twitter giveaway. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and pull up the tweet. First of all, shout out to James for having your boy on the screen. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate you. Let's go. Who's going to be our lucky winner? So we have 54 people entering. Let's go ahead and copy that. Let's go ahead and paste that in the Twitter picker. Turn these filters off. Of course, for some reason, if some of these filters load, we're just going to go ahead and only pick the first one, okay? All right, let's load it up. Entries. Let's go, baby. All right, who's ready? Let's go. Drum roll, please. Someone give me a drum roll. Somebody give me a drum roll. Give me a drum roll on your desk or wherever you're at. I can hear it. I can hear from here, baby. Let's go. Let's go. HSBC not looking good. You know, it's funny that HSBC just announced to the world that they're not going to let people use credit cards to buy crypto. Serves them right, huh? All right. And let's draw. And the winner is, we have the Lazy Shaman show. Wait, who's this? Wait, did you already win? I think you already won. If you won, you got to pick a new winner. Actually, you have not won. The Lazy Shaman show. Why did I feel like you won before? So shout out to the Lazy Shaman show. Right. Lazy Shaman show. If you are working, if you are in the chat, like remember, you have to be in the chat. I'm sending you. You have 2 minutes. I sent you the secret word, Lazy Shaman. Right? Is this Shaman says? If you do not share it in the chat in 2 minutes, I'm picking another winner. Got to keep going. That's Steve-O? Legal, what's up, baby? Good morning, good morning. Wait, that's Steve-O? What do you mean? Oh, is it 2 people? Oh, that's you, Steve? Well, Steve, you won. If that's you, then you won. Oh, but you have 2 members. Did you retweet this on your regular account too? Shut up, Jayhawk. All right. Well, Steve, I mean, you did win. You know what I mean? Well, if you're not a member on did you retweet? Okay, here's the thing. Did you retweet it with your old? If you retweet it with your old account, with your Steve the Canadian account, then I won't pick you. But if you didn't, I'll pick you since you. Well, actually, you've won some of the last 10 times, right, Steve? Let me see. So if you won one of the last 10 times, then I think you have. So we'll just pick a new winner. Let's see. Wait, you didn't. Oh, you did win, but you gave it to Shaman. So let's see. So it might have been close. So you won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you won literally like right after the cutoff. So you're good. So let's see. Let me see. Give me a second. Dave, you guys are chatty as hell. Oh, then Steve, technically you won then. So that counts. So if you only retweeted with the I'll just verify later, but if you only retweeted with the Shaman account, then you're good. Well, if you retweeted it, then you're good. I don't see Shaman in here. So send me your ETH address and I'll go ahead and send it to you. So technically you won. So nah, he won because it was he won in early December. So it's been more than 10 giveaways since you damn, I've given away so much money. But you guys give me the membership, so. Oh yeah. So technically, he still entered to win. So, all right, send me ETH address, Steve, because I have to. I'm doing the this little demonstration for you guys. Let's go. Send me ETH address, baby. Let's go. Send it. Send it. All right, I'm gonna teach you guys how to use, of course, hashtag ad, hashtag sponsor the cryptocurrency channel. Thank you so much. And Web Twerp, we're celebrating 12 months of being a degenerate. Special moment for Web Twerp has upgraded that eggplant into a nice Ethereum logo. Web Twerp, thank you so much for your continued support. 1 entire year as a degenerate. And thank you so much to all my ETH symbols. I do appreciate all y'all. I love everybody, but I love them a little more. You know what I mean? I love them a little more. You know what I mean? Legal alien with the ETH sign. Love y'all though. I appreciate you. Look at all the little ETH symbols. I do appreciate y'all, man. All right, let's get this. Let's give some money away. Steve, send me the ETH address. All right. So this is how you do it. Super, super easy. All right. So for this example, I'm going to be doing ETH to ETH. Right. So what's the point of this? Well, you want to make sure your transactions are anonymous. So I'm going to do 0.01. What time is this at? 106. 0.01. And then the receiving address is going to be Steve's address. So I'm going to paste that address right there. Then I'm going to press Raul it. Once that's done, okay, in order to do this, so all I have to do is copy the deposit address. I'm going to go to my wallet. And now I'm going to send. It's going to be ETH this time, okay? To the deposit address. $0.1 ETH. Oh wait, actually, my bad. My bad. I'm doing I put way too low. I'm gonna put 0.1. My bad, not 0.01. I'm sending you like $2. All right. So we go to copy your Ethereum address again. I put the wrong amount in there. Cool. I'm doing 0.0.1. Better. All right, we're going to paste that down there. That's going to be the receiving address. Raul it. Privacy is the point, baby. Now, of course, these exchanges always take a long time, right? But that's a small price to pay for anonymity. Right? Anonymity. So I'm going to copy this. Right. So of course, I have to deposit the money now. I'm going to go to the MetaMask wallet I'm going to be sending it out of. I'm going to press ETH. I'm going to send. I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to do 0.1 ETH, which is $167. Oh, you get a nice bag today. You get a nice bag today. Now it's going to send. Now we wait. So now here's the thing. It's going to take a while to get to your wallet, Steve. It's always happens, okay? So you can split it with Shaman, do your thing. But I had to do a little extra for the giveaway, okay? Because there's still a minimum we have to do in sending ETH and stuff like that. And right now, they want to make sure they could do less than this, but you want to make sure, right? Oh, perfect. Nice. It's already sent. Perfect. So now it takes 15 minutes to 2 hours. So check your wallet address, your wallet in about an hour or so. 30 minutes usually is what it took last time. But now it's perfect. Now, if you have any sort of issue with the transaction, if you use any sort of exchange, all you have to do is copy and paste the Raul ID number, and then you can email the team or hop in the Telegram or hit me up, and then we'll fix the issue for you. We had some guy send a bunch of Bitcoin the other day, and he was kind of freaking out because his money was stuck in limbo. It will get there. It just takes a while, right? So right now, the biggest thing our competitors have over Raul is the price of the swap price, right? Because we set 0.1 ETH, and you're getting 0.097, which is like literally not that big of a deal. But this is more anonymous. You really can't track this. So, Steve, let me know when you get that. It's going to take a while. This will be complete. It's going to be complete way after the stream ends. But, I'm going to send you this Raul ID if anything happens. And of course, if anything happens, I got you, but you're going to be fine. So I'm going to send you that Raul ID just in case anything goes down. A reference number if you want to like email them and stuff like that. So for example, I used to use changenow.io for a lot of my swapping, and I remember one time I was swapping Chronos on the Ethereum blockchain to actual Chain Chronos, and like it took hours. And I like emailed them like freaking out, like, "Hey man, it's a couple $1,000, you know what I mean?" Just, and they were just like, "Oh, you're good. It just takes a while, yada yada." And then of course it came, right? So let's go. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So got a little big bag, you know what I mean? Raul. All right, guys, but shut up, Jayhawk. Love y'all, man. Love y'all. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to get out of here for the day. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Insane viewership this morning. So all is well in the cryptocurrency world. We are going to be having a little late night stream tonight. So come hang out with your boy, probably 6 or 7, one of those 2 times. Come hang out with your boy. No crypto hour today on Twitter. Jakey G is still doing a little vacay, I believe, somewhere. He has some company, so he's hosting. But I missed y'all too. We'll be having a stream tonight, guys. And if you want to come hang out with us a little more, join our Telegram. Links to the Telegram is in the description down below. Literally right now, I think the running theme of you guys is just like comparing like hot actresses, which I wouldn't expect anything less from our Telegram. Guys, smash the like button on your way out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for all the memberships. Ryan, Crazy Mandy, Brad. Guys, thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.